What is up, everybody, and welcome on into another stream, to another show. It is Friday, January 3rd, and we've got some cool, nerdy stuff to get into today. Andrew Garfield, the werewolf, is at it again. Thank you, Mr. JB. Appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys. We'll definitely talk about it. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about it. But Andrew Garfield out here talking about how he's not in Spider-Man 4. That's kind of crazy. The thing is, it's interesting to talk about, but also this story made me realize something about the marketing for Spider-Man 4. It's going to be crazy. So we'll get into that. The DCU Batman first look came via Twitter. Because ain't nobody watching that cartoon, bro. You know what I mean? We'll get into it. We'll talk about it. Drama. People have opinions. Can you have your cake and eat it too when it comes to canon? We'll discuss. We'll talk about it. That'll be fun. A couple smaller stories. Remember we talked about that Sony CEO? He gone. Which is crazy, actually. So we're going to talk about that. He gone. Trailers coming. We got a Fantastic Four maybe soon. Daredevil definitely soon. And then we got some promotional images of the leader in Red Hulk. Some stuff that I missed while I was away. And while I was away, how have you guys been? How was New Year's? How's everybody doing? Everybody good? Everybody chilling? How's the year so far? Is it already cooked? Are you excited? A lot of prospects, a lot of potential out there. Let me know, guys. How's the new year going for you? New year for us obviously came with some big changes. And Athena, baby number 2 of the Lucas clan, arrived very early on January 1st. Pretty interesting. Very exciting, man. You know, a great way to start the year. We actually had an induction scheduled for the very next day because Athena was taking her time. But she decided to make the New Year's Day her birthday, which is pretty cool. So everything went well. About as good of a birth as you can ask for. I won't go into the full details here. Maybe in a Diamond Lounge or something, I'll tell you guys some stuff because there was some wild stuff that happened. But overall, I'll just say healthy baby, healthy mama. You know, we're back home. We're actually doing, you know, you never know how these things are going to go. And everyone's a little bit different. But I actually think we're even better positioned than we were with Liam. Mom's recovering better. Baby's doing better. You know, Athena last night, first night in the house, was super chill. Very chill, calm little baby. She doesn't scream. She more like whines when she needs to eat. Some of the stuff is like totally over some of you guys' head. If you're not a parent, you don't know what I'm talking about. But essentially, all is well. All is well. Liam's acclimating well, so we're doing good. I appreciate all of the kind words or everybody. Bianca, thank you so much. That's very, very, very generous of you. I will let her know later. She's out there doing some accounting right now, so I'll let her know. She'll really appreciate that. So thank you. Yeah, we got her. We put her to work right away. She's gonna help us get ready to file taxes and everything. So she's out there accounting. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate everybody's patience. You know, we were planning on taking Thursday and Friday off. Of course, that goes out the window when baby shows up on Thursday, or Wednesday rather. So we took Wednesday off. We took Thursday off. Dropped a DC video yesterday, actually. You know, new year, new me. Positive DC video. People seem to like it, so that's cool. Check it out if you haven't. Probably do one video over the weekend today. I'm going to be honest with you. Shorter stream. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Shorter stream today. We do have some cool topics. I'm down to hang out with you guys for a little bit, but I kind of want to get back to mama and baby. Make sure everything's cool. I think, though, by the time we get to Monday, things will be pretty regular. We'll be back to regular streams, regular times, lots of fun videos, lots of clips, lots of cool stuff. So as far as all of that goes, literally about as good as you can ask for. A miracle in a lot of ways. And everybody's doing great. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate haircut probably early next week. So we'll have a shorter stream next week at some point because I got to get a haircut. You know what I mean? Like, that's one thing. The hair, I don't know. I'm probably looking a little disheveled today, but you know, the routine's a little bit thrown. So we'll be back to cooking regular next week. Josh just wants a haircut. I do kind of want a haircut, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. The DC video was great. I'm glad you liked it, man. I put my best foot forward, just try to be positive about some stuff that I actually think is really cool. You know, Gunn made some comments very recently that made me look back at the trailer, and I was like, oh shit, this could be Lex, that could be Lex, that's probably Lex, that's probably Lex. So if you're interested in all that, go check the video out, because I think I'm right. I think Gunn in some ways gave away the secret. He was so defensive about the idea of Ultraman being the true villain that I think he gave some stuff away. So check out that video. It's pretty cool. And then, you know, we've got a lot of exciting stuff. I mean, I'm kind of planning Monday for looking ahead at 2025, you know, looking ahead at all the projects. I'll make my predictions and whatnot. So I'll be going over that. I'll be working a little bit over the weekend, just getting ready for that. That should be great, man. So we'll be off to the races. We've got a couple of months until Captain America, a couple of months until Daredevil. We got 1 month till Your Friendly Neighborhood Who Gives a Shit. I mean, Spider-Man. So there's a lot of fun stuff. 2025 is going to be huge. 2025 is going to be huge. So I'm excited. Let me catch up on some of these chats and some of the love, and then we will get on into the news, man. There is some cool stuff to get into today. So let's see here. First in was Cantina Talks. Appreciate you. Says Andrew is the werewolf. Congratulations, Josh. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. And yeah, Andrew kind of can't catch a break with this sort of stuff. Is Toby ever going to do press? Or is he going to skirt around all these questions again? And we're just going to bombard poor Andrew Garfield. Crazy, crazy. We'll talk more about it. Toxic. Appreciate you, brother, with the 10. Says, congratulations to you and the family. So happy for you guys. Thanks, man. Yeah, we are very blessed. Beautiful children, beautiful family, man. And just about as good as things can go, you know? You're in the hospital. It's interesting. You meet other dads as you're going in and out of the building, hearing how everybody else is doing. It's a real crazy camaraderie. But, man, we were lucky. There was a dad there. They had been there for 4 days. Baby was pretty early. Lot of complications, etc., but doing well, you know what I mean? But it's just like, wow, you think about that. We were essentially ready to be discharged immediately after 24 hours. Athena passed all of her tests with flying colors. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Zach says, congratulations, Josh and Elisa on Athena. I hope you find as much joy from having a daughter as I do, and I hope she is healthy. Much love, brother. Thank you, man. Yeah. You know, look, again, every baby's different, every parent's different, every situation is different. But for me, I have found it a lot easier to connect with her right away. And I was kind of explaining this to Elisa. It's kind of like a different thing. I think with a son, with a dad and a son, at least in my experience, it's like a love and a connection thing, but you feel like a lot of pressure to build the model for this young man, and you feel a pressure to love and support, but also be firm in a way because, you know, you want your son to be strong and to be able to get out there in the world. And I don't know, it's just kind of like a different vibe. With my daughter, I'm just completely in love with her. I would give her whatever she wanted. She's going to get over on me super easily. And so I'm going to be a big old softie towards my daughter. And I found that it's just kind of a different vibe. You know what I mean? And again, it's different for everybody, you know, no judgments or assumptions. But for me, I have personally felt a little bit more just pure admiration and love. She's just so cute and just so cool already. You know what I mean? Mr. JB with a 20 spot. Appreciate it, brother. Says, congrats, family. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Zach, thank you for a gifted membership. Oh, yeah. Let me get Twitch pulled up here. Twitch is probably so mad at me right now. Sorry, Twitch. What's up? Next month, Invincible 2, right? That's true. That is true, actually. Invincible's coming. That's going to be exciting. Saw the Fantastic Four coming in Rivals next week. Dude, I'm loving it. We had a great session on Rivals last night. Me and the boys got on there for a little bit. I hadn't played in several days, just being at the hospital and whatnot. I'm feeling it. I'm going to try to get on there tonight a little bit. Grind it out. Appreciate you guys over there. David Saunders, what's up, brother? Says, congrats, man. Hope 2025 is full of blessings. Thank you so much. I feel really good going into 2025. I feel really good. And even with just how the last couple of days have gone, because it's always, you get nervous. And with Liam, those first few weeks were very difficult. But it seems like it's going to be a lot easier this time, which is kind of interesting. Kendall says, holy mother loving God of everything, nerdy. Our guy Josh is a papa of 2. I know. Can you believe it? Glad you, Athena, and Elisa are doing well. Happy for y'all and to have witnessed the journey. Thank you, brother. Much love. Happy New Year, Vengers. Oh, hell yeah. No, it is kind of wild. A lot of you guys have been with me for years, and you've seen a lot of changes and a lot of growth. And I bet there's a lot of positive feelings towards our family and us building the family together. And, it's been a really cool journey. So it's pulled a lot of good stuff out of me. I think, becoming a parent, it's so weird. I think in some ways, like people that aren't a parent or that don't want to be parents, they get a little irritated when people say what I'm about to say, but it's totally true. And perspective is everything. Becoming a parent is the coolest thing that ever happened to me. And it pulls things out of you that you didn't even know were there. And it's just like being more selfless. And I think every person could use that, like being more selfless and less selfish. I mean, that's ultimately the lesson of Star Wars, which is crazy because Star Wars is about family, generations, fathers, mothers, it's about family. All of you have parents, good or bad or whatever, but we all come from parents regardless of the choices we make. And I do think people that don't experience are missing out. They are frankly missing out on one of the beautiful things that this universe has to offer. All respect to however people want to live their life. I think the people that I feel the most sad for are the people that want that but can't seem to get it. Can't seem to find the right partner, can't seem to conceive. Some people just can't have a baby for whatever reason. And I feel really bad for those people because, that instinct to desire that and want that, I think is correct. And yet, for whatever reason, it just doesn't happen sometimes. And I feel probably the most bad for those people. But, yeah, if you've not experienced, man, it's just one of those things. You're not going to get it probably until you get it. You know how your parents would say, or your dad might say back in the day, when you're a dad, you'll understand. And you were probably like, shut the fuck up, Dad. Dad was right, Bianca, again, thank you. Rossi, thank you. Jedi John says, hang on, we missed it. Jedi John says, all right, y'all, I've made it 48 trips around the sun. Happy New Year and good job, Mama. Get your rest. Text Venture for life. Love you all. Dang, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Jedi John. Get some birthday love in the chat for John. Happy birthday, brother. Doing it big. The big old 4-8. Love to see it. Braden says, everyone always says it's easier to go from 1 to 2 kids than it is to go from 0 to 1. Yeah, that is 100% true. I mean, we were just so much better prepared this time. We knew what to ask for. We knew when, it's like anything, when your first time, you're like, what the hell? Polluted Flynn says, big congrats on the baby and Happy New Year. Super pumped for the new year of live streams. I know, man. We got a lot of Nerdvention to do this year. Big year, man. Lots of big stuff going on. You got Superman, DCU building. You've got Fantastic Four, which I think is sort of the first step towards the new MCU and the end of the Multiverse Saga. I bet San Diego Comic-Con is going to be nuts this year. Daredevil's finally coming out. Super excited about that. A lot of good stuff happening, man. A lot of good stuff happening. And GTA 6, can you believe it? Dan the Man says, Happy New Year's, Nerd Vengers. Glad you're doing well, Josh. How do we feel about Holland retiring post Secret Wars, adapt the Ultimate, and then cross with the DCU? I mean, look, it's hard for me to take that whole article and statement from Tom Holland seriously. Whatever. I mean, it's his personal, private life. But in a sense, I guess he's putting it on display by, you know, giving those answers or whatnot. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think about that. You know what I mean? Like, I guess God bless you and do what you want. I'm going to be honest, man. Like, I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man, but I do lean in the direction. I've told people this too. I lean in the direction that kind of what you described. If you go in the Ultimates direction and you bring back Andrew Garfield as like an aged Peter that maybe hadn't never been Spider-Man or something like that, that's far more interesting. I think Spider-Man is a lot like Batman or James Bond. You know, we've had great Spider-Man. They all have a little bit of a different flavor. I'm excited to see the next one. It's not that I want to be like, get Tom Holland out of here or whatever, but like, I'm not so married to the idea of Tom Holland Spider-Man that I wouldn't accept another one or be interested in another one, which, by the way, that's something Sony should keep in mind. You know what I mean? Like, real talk. Sony should think about that. Because I think in a sense, and it's hard to know for sure, but I think in a sense, they were so worried about another Spider-Man and like, throwing the audience a little bit. We're going to talk about Batman and the DCU Batman too. So, yeah, I mean, dude, you know, look, Tom has enough from just Infinity War and Endgame, the royalties that he gets off of those movies, to do whatever he wants. And if he wanted to retire and just be with his kids, totally chill, you know, totally chill. Comics Man says, congratulations, Josh. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Mr. Falcon with a 20 spot says, Happy New Year's, bro. Congrats on baby Athena. Here's some diaper money. Appreciate it, man. Those diapers ain't cheap. Thanks for creating the best community on YouTube. Grateful to be a Nerd Ventures. Happy New Year's, bro. Thank you, brother. I'm going to do a lot better this year. You know, not to say that we've done bad in the past, and I think maybe one of the best things I've done is community, you know. But, man, we're gonna nail it this year, man. I got a lot of plans. I want the community to be larger than ever, but also more close-knit. And, yeah, I mean, we're doing big things. We're doing big things. I hope to be out there in the world a little bit more, IRL, meet some of you guys, shake hands, you know, give you a hug, slap you on the butt, you know, whatever you're into. Don Basham says, it's my 54th birthday today. Congratulations on baby girl. Liam is going to be a fabulous big brother. Well, happy birthday to Dawn. Get some happy birthday love in the chat for Dawn. Happy birthday. Yeah, Liam is going to be a great big brother. He's already real chill about it, you know? He's already real chill about it. He's been a good boy. Had a lot of fun with Grammy and Grandpa. While we were in the, you know, hospital and whatnot. Who would I cast as Spider-Man? Somebody taller. No offense. No offense meant towards Tom. But I thought he would grow. Ibsy says, congrats on baby number 2. New year, new me 2.0. Exactly. You got it. You got it. You nailed it. Rossi says, the power of Manny. Missed you, bro. TVC says, congrats on the new baby, Josh. I hope you and your family have an amazing 2025. Nerd Ventures for life. Appreciate you, man. We're all going to have an amazing 2025 together. Henny Boo Boo says, just got back from an 11-day vacay. Damn, bro. Stoked that you're doing well. Wishing you happy moments in 2025 with the family. Also, F4 and Rivals. Let's fucking go. Yeah, they look incredible, man. Rivals is such a great game. It's crazy how good the game is, how much content they're already making. Like, what more could you ask for? I mean, I guess maybe a little less censorship. I don't know. We're not going to touch that, but I fucking love the game, man. I'm loving the game. So I'm excited, man. I'm going to definitely play them. I want to play the Thing, bro. Because I want to be like, well, the thing is, and then like dive, you know? Cantina Talk says, so glad Batman will finally have his white eyes. Ooh, that's an interesting take. That's kind of interesting to talk about. So I assume you think that the first canon DCU Thing actually matters to canon. We'll talk about it. Nolan Gabadon. Appreciate the 10 spot, brother. Says, it's been a rough start to the year for my family and me because we lost my dad on New Year's Eve. Emotions hit when you're not expecting. But also, congratulations on the baby girl. Yeah, man, that is obviously tough. My condolences to you and your family and everything. Hopefully, you know, your dad went out with not a lot of pain. hopefully he had family around him. Hopefully he had a good, fulfilled life. And, you know, you think about these things sometimes, and how do you want to leave, and how do you want people to think about you when you're gone and stuff like that? These kind of questions I think we all think about. So yeah, there's nothing I can say that'll help cheer you up at all. But I can promise you that it will get better, and that nobody's ever really gone, and you can still, you know, have you ever seen that meme where they're like, we still talk about you, and it's like the family dog or whatever? I think the way you carry on your dad now is through stories, conversations, and memories, you know, and that's still beautiful. So he lives now through you. And, you know, depending on your beliefs, maybe you'll see him again someday, or at least be reunited with that energy. And that's cool too, you know? So God bless you, man. Kurt says, what's up, Playboy? Congrats on the addition to the new family. Thanks for all the wonderful content. And let's fucking ride in 2025. Oh, hell yeah, brother. Kurt, we're going to get it in 2025, baby. Rossi says, I thought I'd grow like Tom too. Never grew after the 7th grade. I never grew. 5'3". Hey, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I don't, you know, I'm not honestly trying to dog him or whatever. But I did think it was just a little, I mean, look, again, new year, new me. New year, new me. Let's be chill about this. But I mean, they got this dude on Men's Health. I mean, is that, I don't know, dude. It just was a little odd, you know? Anyway, Star Wars Sith says, congrats on the baby, man. It's now time to plan that flight to Orlando for MegaCon. Me and Rossi are waiting. Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely going to look over the schedule this weekend and see what we can work out. I'd love to come hang with you guys, man. I'd love to come hang with you guys. So we'll do our best. Henny says, 4 F squads for days. This game's going to be great for marketing. I agree. And I'm excited. Do they have team up abilities together? I'm not sure that they do, but that'd be pretty cool. That would be real cool. That would be real cool. Okay, you guys ready to break into some of the actual news here? Y'all ready to get into some of the nerdy news? Brian Amick, wow, $20 haul. Appreciate it, brother. That's very generous. Haven't had a good year since 2016. What? But going into 2025 with Josh and the Nerd Ventures is looking great. Congrats on your new Padawan. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I know the past few years have been difficult for a lot of people, and I hope it all can turn around in 2025. I think at the very least, what I can say is we're going to continue to do what we do and try to elevate and get better, more entertaining, a little sharper, a little more focused. Yeah, and I think the entertainment industry is going to be turning around too. You know, there's a lot of signs. There's a lot of signs that things are changing, and I think going to get better. Going to get better. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentle beings, I think we should get into the news. And I think the best place to start is with the werewolf himself. Okay? So, Andrew's Garfields. Man, here we go again, huh? Andrew Garfield denies Spider-Man 4 casting reports. Let's get into this report from Deadline, then we'll break it down because, you know, I've got some thoughts, and as I thought about this story specifically, it made me realize something about the Spider-Man 4 movie and the marketing that I think you're going to find pretty interesting when I bring it up. And it sort of begs some questions, right? But let's get into this article. Although Spider-Man is preparing for another MCU outing, Andrew Garfield is staying tight-lipped about whether he'll return for the next movie. I'll just spoil this for he's going to return. The two-time Oscar nominee denied recent reports that he reprised the role of his version of Peter Parker for the upcoming 4th installment after joining Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, in Spider-Man No Way Home in 2021, which was highly anticipated cameo at the time. I'm going to disappoint you, Garfield told GQ UK of the rumored casting. Yeah, no. but I know no one's going to trust anything I say from now on. Yeah, no shit, buddy. The interview comes after he had outright deny his return to the Spidey suit for No Way Home, which brought all 3 live-action portrayals together through Doctor Strange, Spell Gone Wrong, that sent them traveling across the multiverse to defeat some familiar baddies. Garfield, who previously starred in Sony's The Amazing Spider-Man in 2012 and its 2014 sequel, has expressed interest in playing the role once again after he was left dangling. What? On getting his own 3rd movie. I mean, okay. For sure, I would 100% come back if it was the right thing. If it's additive to the culture. If there's a great concept or something that hasn't been done before that's unique and odd and exciting. And that you can sink your teeth into, he told Esquire in October. I love that character, and it brings joy. If part of what I bring is joy, then I'm joyful in return. Wow, well said. Well said. I agree with that. In October, Sony added that Holland led Untitled 4th Spider-Man to the release calendar for July 24th, 2026, with Destin Daniel Crichton directing. Meanwhile, Holland has teased that the sequel will be super exciting. Next summer, we start shooting, he said on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Everything's good to go. We're nearly there. This was a little bit after he said that the script needed work. Holland also recalled how he had to stay silent during his previous appearance about Garfield and Maguire's appearances in No Way Home. I'd just like to add, though, that I did say at the moment. So I didn't technically lie, albeit I had just come from set with Toby and Andrew. Okay, so yeah, that's what lying is. Okay, so the thing that's fascinating here, and I think why this story kind of caught fire on the interwebs, is, of course, because this dude lied to all of us about his return in No Way Home. And, I had a question for you guys, and I'd love to know in the chat, or if you're watching this on the Clips channel, let me know in the comment section. What was your favorite moment of the werewolf thing with Andrew Garfield? Because if you will recall, what made the whole situation with Andrew absolutely ridiculously funny was the fact that we had 8K footage of this dude on set. So my personal favorite moment was Jimmy Fallon, where Fallon was like holding up the pictures in the image, and and Andrew was like all squeamish and everything. And he's like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what's going on. And Jimmy said, we know what's going on. Do you know what's going on? And I just thought it was so perfect because the whole world knew what was going on. Now, if you will remember, the marketing for the movie was so interesting because although we had the leaks and we had the AK footage and all this, that, second, and the third, it's also true that the marketing did not show it at all, right? So the marketing didn't show it at all. And I had this experience of walking into the theater and nothing had ever been confirmed. I mean, I knew as much as you could know about them returning. And by the way, I mean, I know stuff that I still haven't revealed as far as like where all that shit came from, who leaked what, etc. Like, I will go to my grave with some of those things because it is very sensitive. But I knew about as much as you can know. And yet, sitting in the theater, I still had this feeling before it, like, what if they cut it all out? What if it's all a big troll? What if I look so stupid for talking about this for a year plus and then it wasn't in the movie? So that was kind of a unique experience and it was kind of fun. So I'm curious as to what your favorite moments are from that whole ordeal. But here's a couple of things that about this story that I wanted to add to it to give you more context because it's kind of interesting. Number one, Andrew and Toby are said to have even larger roles in this movie than they did in No Way Home. So in No Way Home, as far as we understand it, they shot for 2 weeks. And they have about 15 minutes of screen time. I think they weren't paid super well. I mean, for 2 weeks of work, I think they got $1 million or a couple $1 million bucks, but they weren't paid like top billing or whatever. Apparently, that's changing this time. Apparently, they have major roles in this movie. They will have way more than 15 minutes of screen time, and they'll probably get way more money, be higher up on the call sheet, etc. So I say that to say, brother, you ain't hiding this time. I mean, if we got those amount of leaks and they're on set for 2 weeks for No Way Home, what do you think is going to happen this time? You know what I mean? Like this time, you're going to get even more. Like, holy, which will make the situation with Andrew even more hilarious. And again, I have to ask, is Toby going to do any goddamn thing? Like, Toby acts like once in every 10 years, so he didn't have press for anything during the whole run-up to Spider-Man No Way Home. Is that going to happen again? Toby just being chill? Yo, remember when Toby just showed up and played basketball with somebody in New York? And I think he literally told him, like, yeah, I'll be in the movie. that was as close as we got to, like, Toby addressing that shit in any meaningful way. So we're about to have a whole thing with Andrew and all of that. But here's the other side of this that's kind of interesting. The more I thought about this, the more I realized the marketing for Spider-Man 4 is going to be so different. Because it is a sequel to Doomsday. It's not even really a sequel to No Way Home. The next meaningful bits of Tom Holland's Spider-Man story, the next time you will see him, will be in Avengers Doomsday, where he was going to be the lead when it was still the Kang Dynasty, and he is said to still have a major role in Doomsday. So you will actually have the sequel to the last Spider-Man movie actually be a sequel to an Avengers movie. On top of that, the ending of Doomsday and a lot of the rumors about what that's going to be like, which, by the way, can I just say too, we're going to get a trailer for Doomsday this year. Like, guys, can you like comprehend that? Like, do you feel that? In this year of our Lord 2025, we will get a trailer for not just the next Avengers movie, but for an Avengers movie about Doctor Doom. What a world. So you're going to get that later. But the rumors about the ending of Doomsday, what that film is supposed to do to set up Spider-Man 4 and Battleworld, potentially Hulk vs. Wolverine or Avengers vs. X-Men movie as well, is going to be a very closely guarded secret. Even though we kind of already know, like, there's a lot of rumors and whatnot about it. It'll be similar to Infinity War. Like, Infinity War happened, and then we were all like, bro, what? Where do we go from here? The movie that came out between Infinity War and Endgame was Captain Marvel, which was a prequel. It took place literally in the 90s, about 20, 30 years before Infinity War. That's not the case with Spider-Man 4. Spider-Man 4 is a direct sequel. It will directly deal with the events of Avengers Doomsday. And therefore, I bet the marketing for this film is going to be so secretive. So secretive. If Doom creates a new universe, a new version of 616 that for the most part just resembles the 616 universe that we currently have, I wonder if they'll market the film as just being a regular Spider-Man movie. But then, like, will people be confused? You know what I mean? So I was like, dang, this is going to be really wild. Not only is there this whole element of the Spider-Boys returning, potentially like Ghost Rider, which also, I put this in a video, but I want to put this out here on Front Street in this segment here so you know what I'm talking about. Did you guys realize that the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider movies are actually Sony movies? When I was doing research for this whole thing, because remember, there are currently rumors of Mephisto. There are currently rumors of Ghost Rider being in the film. I had heard it was Keanu Reeves. Maybe not. Maybe it's Nick Cage. Daniel RPK seems to be teasing Nick Cage. Nick Cage, those Ghost Rider movies, those are Sony films. Sony actually had the rights for Ghost Rider at the time, and they came out through Columbia Pictures, which is part of Sony. So if the rumors are true that Spider-Man 4 is going to tap into the ideas of Deadpool and Wolverine, but instead of it being a celebration of Fox, it's a celebration of Sony, then Nick Cage as Ghost Rider makes a lot of sense. Again, those are Sony movies. So you'll have a lot of like that kind of elements and those kind of things that are potentially being hidden. But they might be hiding almost everything about that movie because anything they show could potentially ruin Doomsday. Now, maybe after Doomsday, the marketing for that film is a lot crazier, but those movies are not that far apart. They're only a couple of months apart. I think 3, maybe 4. So fascinating. Fascinating when you really think about what's going to be going on with that movie and the marketing. And I wonder, are we just going to do a whole nother year straight of Garfield denying this? Will they even have press? What will the trailers look like? Or are they potentially going to put the return of the Spider-Boys right out in front of us because there are even greater secrets that they could be hiding? I don't know, and I'm fascinated to see how it all shakes out. But either way, Andrew Garfield at it again. I mean, technically starting the promotion for Spider-Man 4 by denying that he will actually be in the film, even though he's heavily rumored to be in that movie. So, fascinating story. Would love to know your thoughts about it. So, let me know. What do you think, chat? What do you make of this situation? Pretty interesting, huh? Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. The Blade movies are Warner Brothers movies, which is why I was extra surprised Snipes' Blade was in Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, I wonder how they managed to make that all make sense. The movie obviously has a heavy focus on the X-Men, and you have Fox Studios, and they're really tapped into that energy. I had always assumed that the Blade movies were technically Fox, but maybe that's not true. The Blade show, I believe, was an FX show, though, was it not? Yeah, it's kind of wild. Like, how do they think about all of this? Is it just distribution? Is it what studio owns the rights? It's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I think Kevin will show all 3 of them together again because Doctor Doom's story will show a lot more. Yeah, I'm leaning in that direction. I'm kind of leaning in that direction. Like, that makes me think that maybe you put the Spider Boys out there. That's a draw. But then, like, Mephisto, maybe Null, maybe Venom, some of those other things that are also rumored, maybe that's the real sort of surprise. I'm not really sure. These are probably conversations that they are having themselves. Yeah. Snyder said he thinks Spider-Man 4 is getting a page 1 rewrite, and he believes it won't be ready in July of 2026. I don't know that that's the case. I mean, look, here's what I would say. First of all, I don't even know that that's true. You're just telling me that's what Jeff said, right? As far as what I actually witnessed the man say himself, I subscribed to his newsletter and like read it. I think that he has definitely expressed that he doubts it'll make the date. He has definitely expressed that there's a lot of scripting things going on. And then you had like Daniel report about this. You had My Time to Shine report about this. We talked about it last week. I just don't think so. I mean, the Spider-Man No Way Home movie itself went through insane amount of changes. So did Multiverse Madness. Those movies actually came out in the reverse order when they were supposed to come out. And you can actually find concept art that had America Chavez in Spider-Man No Way Home. Because, again, they were flip-flopped at one time. I think the truth of the matter is they have all kinds of elements that they know they want to be in the movie. They are probably reworking the script because there are things that are just not connecting. That's absolutely the case. But I do not agree with the idea of it being a page 1 rewrite because they have like a whiteboard and they have all kinds of ideas and they're like, these need to go in there. Now, how do they get in there? How are the exact scenes themselves executed? That's probably what they're tweaking, trying to figure out. Is it possible the movie's delayed? Absolutely. But the movie will not be delayed past Secret Wars. At least as far as what I understand they're building, it will not be delayed past Secret Wars. Now, technically, in 2026, there are other dates available to Marvel, Disney, and Sony. So if it misses July, I think it can still hit November, December. I think it could potentially even hit October. And they could make that work. So, yeah, I mean, that's as far as I am aware of like what's going on, my take on the situation. I'm not worried at all. And it's possible that it gets delayed, but they're not going to delay it past Secret Wars. Diamond G says the fourth Spider-Man is going to be Miles, Spider-Man times 4. I don't think Miles will be in Spider-Man 4 at all. I think Miles is going to be in the animated thing. And then I think they'll build Miles after that. Miles is really valuable to both studios. And I think they know that they need to nail this third film to like keep that legacy and that brand strength there. And I also think Miles is not the type of character that you want to just sort of shoehorn into this other thing. Could there be some teases and some hints? Yes. Is Miles just going to pop up and be a big part of Spider-Man 4? Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong about that, but I doubt it. Will Echo be in Secret Wars? I don't know. You think she'll hear Doom coming? Probably December 2026, since No Way Home hits that spot. Yeah, and that's actually probably not bad for the movie. They could do that. They could definitely do that. Interesting. So Blade was on Spike. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Blade was on Spike. Spike TV. Those were good days. Jareth, appreciate it with the $20 holla. Holy. Says, congratulations to you and Elisa. Being a girl dad is incredible and completely different than just a boy dad. You are her whole world. In my case, I got 1900th career win yesterday and hoping to hit 2K this year. Holy Jareth. Holy brother. That's a lot of dubs, man. But, you know, I should have known you're a nerd Avenger. You know what I mean? And I see that badge there. I mean, that looks like, what, a 4-year? We don't have a 4-year. It's a 3-year badge. So, yeah, you know, seems like it's working. Seems like it's working. Yeah. Congratulations on the baby. I was hoping you would like the element of surprise meme I posted on Twitter, but you didn't hit like, so I feel bad now. I don't know if I saw it, brother. I don't know if I saw it. Yeah. Yeah, Blade was on Spike TV. Yeah, totally. So what were you guys' I missed this. You probably already put it into the chat, so I apologize. But what was your favorite moment of the whole thing with Andrew Garfield? You know? I love that Fallon interview. I thought that was great. Josh, sound the alarms. You made us watch all of Phase 4 and 5 and scrap the main villain and haven't set up Doom, in which points they provide under stress. That was barely understandable. And I am also glad you're having a good start to the year. Jared will get to 2K wins before Josh gets to 200 wins in Rivals. You don't say that. You don't say that. That video was Photoshop. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dark Dragon X7 says Snorehammer. JK, congrats, Josh. Oh man, I took my new Warhammer book. Maybe some of you guys saw this on the Instagram story. I took my new Warhammer book into the hospital, and I was reading to little baby Athena about the Sisters of Battle and the fact that they derive such power from their faith in the God Emperor of mankind. So we're already setting her up right. You know what I mean? She's going to have incredible female role models. Sisters of Battle. Incredible. Michael Roos, welcome to the Nerd Avengers, baby. Appreciate you, man. Welcome. The werewolf interview was goated. It was. It was good. Did it put her to sleep? I mean, maybe. Maybe. Cobra Kai Kid looks like a good Miles. He'll be 40 by then. Yeah, I don't know if a 40-year-old Miles is going to do it. I'm going to be honest. I heard Athena is a fan of the female custodians. Well, you know what's funny? And look, I don't want to get lost down this whole rabbit hole. This will actually be something that Matt and I talk about on the podcast. But a lot of people are championing this new book as the death of Wokehammer because it kind of reestablishes Space Marines are male, Custodians are male. And I did think, because I was like reading and I was trying to like, are these people full of shit or like what's going on? And I do think there is actually a lot of effort put into that book to like, here's the male heroes, here's the female heroes. And it like So it did feel like the book was sort of reestablishing that the Sisters of Battle and the Sisters of Silence and other, people, that's like your awesome female factions, and they're great. And then you got your male factions. So I think female custodies are probably done, which is good because, it's not that, if you recall, oh, here we go. We're down the rabbit hole. If you'll recall, I actually reacted to a video by The Drinker, and The Drinker knows literally nothing about Warhammer. So he was just, not to push the glasses up and be super nerdy, but, he was conflating the aspirin and the way you become a Space Marine with the way a custodian is built, right? And so technically within the lore, I could actually see how a female custodian could happen. Female Space Marine, probably not. Like that doesn't make any goddamn sense. The problem was how they set it up. They just put it randomly into a book. And like the lore is so important in Warhammer, and everybody was like, this isn't not a thing. And then they tried to gaslight their own fans into thinking that it was a thing. That's a bad look. So it's not that female custodians cannot be a thing. Just do it the right way. Earn it. Establish it in the lore. Build a novel. Like, do the work. Don't just fucking slap some shit into a book and be like, it always was that way. No, it wasn't. So, yeah, that'll be something that Matt and I talked about. But, like, generally speaking, Matt agreed. Like, we just talked about it. We were like, it's so lazy. And, like, you already have the Sisters of Battle. Like, what are you doing? So I think that is going away. Thank you, Adam, for sending me on that tangent. Appreciate it. Adam, if you're the producer on the show eventually, like, are you going to do that too? Like, when we're live together, are you just going to be like, Josh, I just want to interrupt you. And I'll be like, yo, okay, yeah, what's up? And you're like, female custodians. And I'm like, here we go. Star Wars Sith said, will Doomsday still be playing? Oh, shit. Hang on. I lost it. Will Doomsday still be playing in theaters when Spider-Man 4 drops? I think its theatrical run will be ending right about then. But I wonder if they'll do like a little double feature thing. Appreciate you, brother. Javier says, Marvel Rivals ranked is hard. I'm trying to hit Grandmaster with my buddies with 6 days left. Yeah, that's going to be tough, brother. That's going to be real tough. Me and my friends started to play together really well. We had a really good session. Bro said, do a novel and then don't slap it in a book. Yeah, so I'll explain it to you since you're completely ignorant and not understanding what I'm talking about. So when I said slap it into a book, I'm talking about a codex. So each army has a set of rules which arrives in the form of a codex. The codexes do have lore within them. So the female custodians thing was just slapped into a codex book. A novel is totally different. Most of Warhammer's lore is actually built with full-blown novels. So if they were to make a whole book about it and actually properly explain what happened and what was going on, that would be appropriate. If it's a paragraph in a codex, not appropriate. But I will also say that there was more than just that, because there's a female custodian in one of the animations. So like there's a Warhammer animation that has a female custodian. And then you're like, bro, what? Like, what's that about? Right? So I don't think they're necessarily like going away. But what I'm trying to say is that this new book, which is kind of designed for like normies, the normies are being presented with a big piece of production that does seem to put them back into the brotherhood category, which either means they're totally going away or they'll be put into the lore and built properly, which is good. I don't care which way they go with it, to be honest. Captain says, happy Friday, Nerd Vengers. Congrats, Josh, on Liam and Elisa for baby Athena. She's almost shares a birthday with me. I turned 33 on Sunday. Nerd Vengers for life. Andrew's lying. Well, happy early birthday to you. Hope Sunday's great. And I appreciate the support, brother. Thank you so much. Joshua Campbell, appreciate the $2 holla. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wait, there are Warhammer novels? Yeah, so most of the lore is built through novels and short stories. Originally, it was built mostly through the supplemental material that was in the codexes, but it's really the lore was built through novels. I mean, the Horus Heresy had a lot of the novels hit New York Times bestsellers, and I would say before the video games, so like before 2006, a lot of how Warhammer broke out was via novels, actually. Brendan says, just got into the stream, wanted to say congrats. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. What is Athena's favorite army? Well, I'm not going to decide that for her. You know, she's going to decide for herself. I mean, she might like Sisters of Battle. She might like Space Marines. She might like Chaos, man. You know, it's all whatever she likes. Preference is a beautiful thing. Berated says, so we doing a short ass streams now and using half of the time to talk about Warhammer? Yeah, if we're lucky. Yeah, that's actually exactly the plan. God willing, if we're lucky, that's exactly what you're signing up for now, and you're gonna fucking like it. Space Trick Serial TM with a 10 spot says, how many kinds of Warhammer armies are there? Oh my god, I love it. We really are wearing you down. I love it. Thank you. One per Primarch. Also, we've done Arthur, Vampire, Horus, 17 more to go. Explain another. Call me Brightside. But more Rey movies means more chances for her on-screen death. Oh my god. Wow, that's a whirlwind there. So I'll talk a little bit about Jagatai Khan and the White Scars. Just a little bit, okay? So, the planet of the White Scars and Jagatai himself are like a lot like the old either Mongolian Empire, or they have like a lot of aspects of a lot of different early cultures, Asian cultures, you know, Russian cultures mixed in them. And they're fascinating, and Jagatai is fascinating because they have really brutal but beautiful beliefs. So they believe in marking themselves with scars for their kills. They believe in taking heads, taking scalps. They believe in a lot of like brutal things. But they also believe in poetry, art, and they're a lot more like samurai. And Jagatai himself, a lot of skill sets. Amazing warrior, but very skilled. He actually is not loyal to the Emperor because he believes he's a god. He's not loyal to the Emperor because he believes that his goals are better for humanity. He has loyalty to his father because he considers his father to be the greatest warlord that there ever could be. And he's just the most powerful warlord ever. And so even though Jagatai he doesn't really fucks with his brothers like that. Like, he's kind of quiet, reserved, not really with it, not really for the crusade. He more makes a pragmatic consultation and understanding that, like, his dad's the most powerful warlord, and via his own culture and beliefs, that allows him to be subservient. This brings in a lot of the other brothers who look at Jagatai a little side-eyed. They don't fully trust him. They think he could turn to chaos. They think he could betray them because he's not loyal out of love. Do you know what I mean? So Jagatai, fascinating, really like reserved, kind of, he'll be this guy in the room that's just chilling there, and then everybody's like, what do you think, Jagatai? And then he'll say some cold-ass, disrespectful shit, and everybody's like, God damn it. But he's just so badass, you know? Hey, Joshua, I think your kid is like tapping the button over and over again. If you can get him to tap it just a couple more times and then stop, because you're going to lose all your money. Rossi says, here's for some money for haircuts. They sure are a lot of them. I know, right? Joshua says, my POS Apple ID isn't working earlier, so here's some baby money. Also, Element of Surprise meme replied it's on the baby post. Okay, I'll check it out. And then you dropped another 5, another 5, and another 5. Holy. Holy, brother. Oh, okay, Invoker. Nice. Athena will be an orc player. Ooh, dude, the orcs are great. Yeah. Okay, we have one more main story here, and then a bunch of little stories, guys. So let me get into the next big story, and then we will we'll do some smaller stories, and then we'll get into Q&A, okay? Okay, so let's talk about the DCEU Batman. We just got our first look at the DCEU Batman via Twitter. Interesting choice from James Gunn. I'm being facetious a little bit. He dropped a look at Batman in the Creature Commandos show. And the reason I say that it was shown on Twitter is because nobody is watching Creature Commandos. That is a statistical fact. Horrible viewership. So what that means is when you drop the first look at Batman on a show that nobody's watching, they have to spread it out there. So your first look at the DCEU Batman via Twitter. I'm kind of interested as far as what you guys think of that, just in general. But this reveal has actually sparked a lot of fan conversations. Couple of things going on here. Number one, this Batman look thick. This Batman look strong. This Batman basically looks like fucking Batfleck, which a lot of people brought up. This tweet itself says, first look at DCU Batman, and it's literally just Batfleck, which is kind of funny. This has sparked the conversation of, is this going to be your Battinson? You know, because he looks very thick and strong and the way you would want Batman to be and not the hockey pad wearing, chronically depressed twink that we got in Matt Reeves' thing. So a lot of questions here, right? Like, if this is Battinson, why is he padding his suit? What the hell's going on here? Other conversations about the validity of canon. And I think that's the most interesting thing to me is, like, you got a lot of people out there basically saying that this show, this Batman and Gotham itself, that was for the first time in the DCEU revealed in this show, has literally no bearing on what Batman or Gotham will actually look like when we get to live action. And you've got people that are fans of Creature Commandos, fans of James Gunn, fans of the DCU and what it could represent. Some of those same people are trying to tell you and trying to tell the fandom that this doesn't represent what you will see in the actual DCU. And I think, to me, like, that's the thing that I find so interesting about this. The question is, like, can you have your cake and eat it too? Can you have canon and all of the good things that come from that? Because what canon really provides is connective tissue, an overarching universe. It gives fans depth. It gives fans a way to watch a show like Creature Commandos that nobody's watching and derive extra value when you watch the next thing. This reminds me a lot of Star Wars and what they did with the expanded universe when Kathy Kennedy in 2014 said the expanded universe was dead or gone, or however she phrased it. The promise was that in replacement of that, you would get the Star Wars canon, where if you read a novel or you read a comic, it would enhance your experience as a fan, inform what you knew about the universe so that you could take that information into the next movie, into the next show. And again, it's meant to enrich the corporations, but also it's meant to enrich our experience as fans. Now, Star Wars fucked this up terribly. I mean, they could honestly never get it going. The comics and the books actually have pretty good connective tissue, but then when it came to the movies and the things, it basically just stopped. So, like, for instance, one of my favorite novels is Catalyst. James Luceno, brilliant writer, wrote the Plagueis novel, I believe. Brilliant writer. He wrote a prequel novel to Rogue One. He actually had to completely rewrite it after they brought in Tony Gilroy to fix up Rogue One. A lot of changes happened to the movie. And even after the rewrite, Catalyst is wildly different from the movie. The character of Jin's father, totally different. Unrecognizable. And I like both versions. I think the movie's very good. Maybe one of the best things that Star Wars ever did. But they are so disjointed. They don't fit. And eventually Dave Filoni just says, fuck it, we ball. He's changing lightsaber colors. He's changing origins. He does not give a shit. He took the Ahsoka novel, took a big old dookie on it. He took the Kanan Jarrus comic book series, which I loved, and he pissed all over it. He doesn't care. And Dave's philosophy on this is that Star Wars is all essentially stories that are being told to us of events that really happened. So every story technically could have a different interpretation, and it's fine. Maybe the lightsaber was different. Maybe this was different. That was different. And I gotta be honest, like, I don't like that answer. I love Filoni. I hate that idea. Mostly because it spits in the face of the value proposition that Kathy originally sold us on when she said that the legacy Star Wars Expanded Universe was gone. How can you say both? How can you promise one thing, give a value proposition to your customer, and then literally have your CCO be like, I don't believe that, so we're not going to do it? It's wild, right? Is that what's happening with James Gunn stuff? I'm not really sure. Gunn has said that none of this stuff is real, that it doesn't matter, that he can do whatever he wants. And to me, that kind of flies in the face of when he first got onto that stage in the backlot of Warner Brothers and said that DC was fractured. Gunn went as far as to say that he wanted consistency between the actors for not just the shows and the movies, but the video games. By the way, a lot of people in the video game industry were furious about that because they would have had their jobs taken, right? Imagine being a voice actor and James Gunn says, well, I'm trying to make my universe more cohesive, so you can't actually voice Harley Quinn. It has to be the actor that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just caused a lot of friction. But my point is, this guy came out and sold us on the idea of a totally cohesive and connected DC universe. And it does sort of feel like he's walked back on that, and it kind of said it doesn't matter. So this Batman thing, albeit just a small little thing in a show that nobody's watching, sparks a really interesting series of conversations and questions. Can you have your cake and eat it too? Can you have a canon and get all the benefits of what that canon can do, and yet when it gets hard, when you can't quite fit it together, just say that it's not real? Can you have your cake and eat it too? I am not sure. And I think that Gunn is going to find that the fans will not be as forgiving as he thinks they maybe should be when these differences and things happen. So I guess the number one question is, like, does this represent the DCU Batman at all? I don't know. I have no fucking idea. You know what I mean? Like, that's the honest answer. I think it's kept vague enough that you could see almost any person slotted into this. I also want to say, on a kind of total side note, if it is Pattinson, for the love of God, get him under a barbell. Like, I don't know, man. Like I understand, you know, the artist, this, that, second authority is a beautiful little snowflake. Shut the fuck up and get under a barbell, man. If females that are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe will say, I owe it to the audience to try to physically transform so that they can suspend their disbelief better and see their hero, then for God's sake, brother, you're not Jim Dean. You can get in there and get a transformation. You can lift a little weight. You can eat a little bit more food. You can get physical. Batman is a physical specimen. You know what I mean? So that's kind of a side note. For the love of God, please get big if you're actually going to be the DCU Batman, which, if they do the time skip thing, could actually make a lot of sense. Because we're watching with Reeves, hockey pad wearing, you know, twinkle toes Batman within the first couple of years. Well, maybe he figures out, like some cornerbacks figure out when they go to the AFC, I need to put some size on because it's different over here. So maybe that's what's going to happen and they can explain it. Maybe this is Alan Richardson. You know, the Reacher guy who's jacked to the fucking gills, and I think would be the perfect physicality for what Batman is. But all signs do tend to point to it being Pattinson. Really interesting. I also wonder if Gotham itself will look anything like what was depicted in this show. And if not, is it really cool that this is even in the show? Like, what are we doing here? You know? So, I haven't been totally checked in. I've been a little busy over the past couple of days. But from what I saw online, this did spark a lot of conversations. And it doesn't seem like the fandom is unilaterally accepting of this, like basically how they're doing it right now. Which I think, frankly, a lot of it's coming from sort of the vagary, not knowing, the rumors of Pattinson. All these different things are adding up to a confused audience that just wants clarity, which I think was something promised when Gunn said that the big problem with DC was that it was fractured, right? That was his big selling point. It's fractured, and it's his and Peter's job to fix it. This doesn't feel like fixing it, So, I don't know. I like the look of this Batman, too. Like, let me be clear. Like, I like the look of this Batman. I'm never going to watch Creature Commandos. I do not care. But I like the look of this Batman. I want a thicker Batman. I also think Pattinson is good for the franchise. He just needs to get some meat on those bones. Get this guy a sandwich. Holy. Looking like Captain America pre-Super Soldier Serum. Terrible. Let me know what you think about this. This is kind of an interesting situation. I mean, as Gunn said, Batman's the most popular comic book character on the planet. Maybe a little less popular than Spider-Man these days, but for a long time, Batman was the most popular character on the planet. He has to be a big part of what they're building. What do you make of this situation? Do you think they can have their cake and eat it too? What do you think? I'd love to know your thoughts. You think that you think this represents? I guess that's the first place to start with. Do you think this represents the DCU Batman? Yes or no? Mid-ass character? Oh, man. I will not accept any Batman slander here, Justin. You want to know something else? Just to give you a double dose of stuff you don't like, Justin? One of the reasons I love the Custodes so much is because it's basically like every single one of them is Batman. I love it, dude. Like, they have their helmets, and they have all these, like, scanners and technology, and they're all just so physical. Their martial prowess is kind of undeniable. The Custodian Guard, kind of like a whole bunch of Batman. Yeah, man. Honestly, I'm just like you. I don't know what to make of this. Yeah. I don't have a sort of hard stance on it. I just find I just find the questions that were brought up by this to be kind of interesting. Tell us more about the Custodians. Okay. First thing you got to know is the value of each Custodian is said to be more than multiple worlds to the Imperium. So imagine being more valuable than whole planets. Each and every Custodian Guard wields Auromite armor, golden, strongest material that's known in the Imperium. It takes 14 mortal men to lift one of their spears. And they wield those spears with such precision and strength that they become a golden blur on the battlefield. And that's just a taste. That's just a taste of the Custodes. Isn't that crazy? Joshua, was a joke. Please stop. Oh, sorry, I didn't catch the joke. My bad. Josh, can you give us a scoop you know of to kick off the new year, please? Let me think. Let me think. I don't think I know too much right now. Let me try to think though. I know that Wanda Maximoff is going to be the girlfriend of Doctor Doom. The romantic shit, unless they remove it, the romantic shit is real. With Wanda and Doom. That's what I've heard. It takes 5 men to lift their dongs. What the fuck? What? What the fuck? Charlie, thank you for 8 months. You're on a 6-month streak with Prime over on Twitch, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Happy affiliate anniversary. Yeah, we got affiliate literally a year ago on Twitch. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Okay. A couple of other quick stories to go over, then I'll catch up on the chats, and we'll just do a little Q&A, and then we're going to get on out of here. Guys, it's a shorter stream today. I got to get my hair cut. Yes. So I think you'll find this one pretty funny. Do you guys remember the Sony CEO, Tony Vinciquerra? And do you remember the comments he made blaming critics for the failure of the Sony Marvel movies? Well, this one's kind of interesting. Sony Pictures CEO Tony Vinciquerra to step down, succeeded by Ravi Ahuja. Sony is changing the guard at its Culver City Film and Television Studio. You don't say. Tony Vinciquerra, Sony Pictures Entertainment chairman and chief executive who quietly rebuilt the studio's business over 7 years, will hand the reins in January to a key member of his management team, Ravi. Ahuja currently runs Sony's global television studios, which has shepherded such hits as The Crown, The Boys, Cobra Kai, and The Last of Us. A former television executive at Walt Disney Company and Fox Corp, Ahuja joined Sony Pictures 3 years ago to oversee its India business and television production. Since he arrived, his portfolio has steadily grown. The 53-year-old executive was promoted to chief operating officer for the entire studio in April, and a move that signaled Sony's succession plan. A part of the transition, Vinciquerra, 70, will remain with Sony as an advisor through 2025. Uh-oh. Sony said Monday that Ahuja will take over the studio's president and chief executive on January 2nd. That was yesterday. He will report to Sony Group Corp chair and chief executive Kenichiro Yoshida and Hiroki Totoki. I am the worst at pronouncing names. No disrespect meant. The president and chief operating officer of the Japanese electronics company. Ravi brings with him years of experience from his time and work at the world's most successful entertainment companies, and we look forward to working more closely with him in the new role and him not saying some wild-ass shit like motherfucker said last month. Yoshida said in a statement announcing the move. A transition has been in the works for more than 2 years. Vinciquerra recruited Ahuja, who also worked with him during their joint venture at Rupert Murdoch's Fox. Vinciquerra built the network business for Murdoch, and Ahuja served as chief financial officer. Ahuja, in a statement, expressed gratitude for his new role at Sony. Vinciquerra's support. I am energized by the opportunities ahead and lucky to work alongside thousands of talented colleagues around the world at SPE and at our sister companies, Ahuja said. So, look, there's a lot more goobly glob here. Bottom line, man, it bombed and he gone. So Vinciquerra, as many people pointed out, it seemed like there was a transition in period or in place for him. And this was before those crazy ass comments came out last month. And one must wonder, was Vinciquerra staring down the barrel of kind of being done anyways? And did he just want to flame critics and talk down to the audience right before he got out? Kind of hard to say. I think this, if anything, maybe expedited the process a bit. But to be fair to Vinciquerra, he actually did accomplish a lot as a CEO. But damn, those comments will not be forgotten. Those were wild statements. I mean, this guy got absolutely cooked on the timeline. It was brutal, man. And I think because the Sony movies are just such a meme and it's such a joke, I think to come to the defense of that whole idea in any meaningful way would have probably made you the laughingstock. But I also think the degree to which he crashed out, man, that was kind of wild, man. I mean, he's crashing out on the fact that the movies are good and the critics made people believe it was insane, dude. Such wild statements from this guy. It really does almost seem like he was on his way out and just kind of wanted to leave a fart in the room. And I think he's made things a little bit, unfortunately, not that great for his successor now. But the mainline story here, and the thing that I wanted to bring up was the fact that he gone. So fresh blood in there at Sony. I think they have some new ideas, new things that were going on. By the way, there's an interesting article. I'm considering doing a whole video about this. Charles Murphy did a pretty interesting article. I'll bring it up here. This showed a ton of different ideas that Sony actually had that they wanted to do that they never got done. So, of course, we know about the Sinister Six. Drew Goddard was literally writing a script and planning to direct the thing. This was all the way back during the Andrew Garfield times. Night Watch, very interesting character. Spike Lee was going to direct this freaking Night Watch movie. Can you believe that? Wild. Silver and Black. We've talked about those rumors quite a bit. That would be interesting. Jackpot. Literally, Mark Guggenheim was involved. Insane. The Silk Project, which of course was eliminated in favor of the Spider-Man Noir Project. Spider-Woman. Man, remember all this kind of stuff when Olivia Wilde was out there talking about this? She literally had a comment about how Feige would come after her if she talked about it. Seemed like it was real. Hypno Hustler. Insane. El Muerto. Kind of can't believe that was real. I mean, this is all the stuff that Sony wanted to actually do. Kind of a blessing in disguise that they fucked it all up, because I just can't imagine us actually going through more years of stuff like this. I mean, I think this Night Watch project is maybe the most interesting to me. Silver and Black could have been fine, but man, it really makes you think, what were they thinking over there? You know, Vincent Quera said he didn't understand why the movies weren't succeeding. He was like, they're good movies. I don't understand why they're not succeeding. And I think the overall take from the internet was like, bro, you're making Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man. What's difficult to figure out? First of all, the movies aren't good. You're ridiculous if you think they are. Number two, what's the plan here? What were you even trying to accomplish? And then you look at all these other projects they had lined up and you're like, my God, bro. Sony gonna Sony. But maybe new blood, new ideas. Maybe we could see the turnaround of Sony Pictures. Guys, what do you think is going to happen first? Will Star Wars or Sony turn it around first? Which one do you actually have more faith in? That is an interesting question. What do you think, chat? Which studio do you have more faith in? Sony Entertainment or Lucasfilm? Star Wars? Real Zentar. Appreciate you subscribing over on Twitch with Prime. Thank you. Action DK22. Neither. That doesn't answer the question. Sony has new leadership, so... Ooh, good point. Good point. Look at this. Everybody has more faith in Sony. I mean, most people do. The consensus seems to be Sony. Oh, man. So sad what's happened to Star Wars, huh? So sad. Do a poll for it? All right, let's do a poll. Let's see what you guys think. Which... I'll say studio, but it's technically Sony has a whole bunch of stuff. We're talking about Sony Spider-Man. Which studio will get their shit together first? Actually, let's do this. Which brand? That's more accurate. Which brand will get their shit together first? Star Wars Sony Spider-Man. There we go. Boom. Josh out here spitting impossible scenarios and trying to make us choose. Yes, I'd like to play a game. I have more faith in the Spider-Man IP than Star Wars at this point. I think, sadly, I agree. Wow, look at that. 50-50 right now. Oh, no. Oh, no. I will give Ravi a chance. I'm going to give him a chance, too. I'm going to give him a chance, yeah. Not a hard question at all. Sony, they at least know there is a problem. Fair. I mean, it took many failures, but yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That's true, too. Chase says they finally realized something wasn't working. I think he's referring to Acolyte being canceled. That's fair. Look at this. 64% leaning towards Sony at this point. I mean, I feel bad for the Star Wars fans, man. Like, it's tough. It's tough, brother. Sony going to give us Spider Kids next? Oh, jeez. Hey, by the way, I'm 2 episodes behind on Skeleton Kids, but I think I'll try to catch up over the weekend. Is it the finale next week? How many more episodes of Skeleton Kids are there? Leonard, that's a great point. Feige may be more involved in the future, so definitely Sony. That's totally fair. You know what's ironic about that, Leonard? Star Wars had the chance. Feige wanted to help Kathleen Kennedy. And I've said this over and over again. I don't know how many of you guys believe me. I'm telling you for a fact, Kathleen Kennedy refused the help of Kevin Feige. She did everything in her power to keep him at arm's length because of her legacy. Can you imagine being the president of a company? Your brand is in a tailspin. You have the greatest producer of all time at the same company, and he wants to help, and you tell him to fuck off? Can you imagine? I mean, to me, I think she's done a million things wrong. I think she's absolutely terrible. But that one there, that's basically unforgivable to me. It is hard to conceive of such denial and hubris. Yeah. Very, very tough for me to get past that. Well, Nick, that's absolutely what it was, because he would have shown her up for sure. 100%. He would have helped steer the ship right, and then he would have got credit for it. And it is solely because she did not want that. She let the brand die on the vine. Isn't that crazy? And I'll be never mind. I'll stop there. Okay, just a couple other quick stories, guys, then we'll get into some Q&A. We'll hang out, and then I'm gonna go hang out with my family. Okay, I love you guys though. Couple other things going on. We saw for the first time the reveal of the leader in some of the promotional stuff for Captain America Brave New World. Curious as to what you guys think about this. I mean, I think it looks fine. I'm pretty interested to see what it'll look like actually in live action. So let's pull this up. This is some of the promotional images. I mean, this Red Hulk looks sick. Amazing. The leader. I mean, what do you guys think? Like, all right. I'll just say this too. We're not going to go into spoilers. The leader is very important to this movie. The leader, unless they have changed it, is really important to setting up Doctor Doom and how the 616 is going to deal with a big coming threat. So the leader is a big deal. Kind of interesting, huh? I don't know. What do you guys think? Lame, cool. Pretty much what I expected. Yeah, that's fair. It does the thing well. There you go. There you go. And they're only now adding him to promo ads? Yes, because I think they're trying to keep certain things that he does a secret. Yeah, it's all right, right? It's like whatever, you know? It's like whatever. Yeah, the leader's going to be pretty important. Yeah, he's a big deal. He's a big deal. Okay, only one other thing to talk about, guys, and that's the idea of a couple of trailers dropping this month. Man, where's the Fantastic Four stuff? I just want to say, I love Marvel. I love Kevin Feige. I want Fantastic Four to compete with Superman. You know, like don't play nice because you like James Gunn. You know, I want Fantastic Four to really feel like it's going after Superman. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, where's the little trailer? Where's the TV spots? We got a little freaking thing with an ornament. Superman trailer racks up 50 million views in a week, and we got a goddamn ornament. I'm fighting for my fucking life out here. So please, give me a little bit more, Kevin. Let's go. Let's get this Fantastic Four trailer out there. I'm hoping for that soon. According to Daniel RPK, we're going to get a Daredevil trailer this month. It's crazy that people pay Daniel to tell them that a show that's coming out in 3 months will get a trailer soon, you know? But hey, look, you know, different strokes, different folks. But according to Daniel, yes, you're going to get a Daredevil trailer sometime in January. Likely. That's going to be dope. I'm very excited for that. We'll break it down. We've seen a lot of leak trailers and things of that nature when it comes to Daredevil. But Daredevil's a huge deal, man. Marvel fans highly anticipating that show. So just want to put that on your radar. Probably something we'll get in the next couple of weeks here, and I'm excited to check it all out. We'll break it down with y'all. And I hope Kevin comes out and says the Daredevil show racked up 251 million views in 24 hours across all social media platforms, including secret special ones, and it outdid the Superman trailer. That's what I want to see from Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios, so we'll see if that happens. All right, everybody, let me catch up on some chats here. And then we're going to hang in the chat a little bit, and then we'll get on out of here, okay? Cantina Talk says, Josh, who would you want as Bats? Alan Richardson for me. Yeah, I think he would be fantastic. I mean, he would look a little crazy next to that Superman, especially in that suit. But, yeah, I think he would be fantastic, man. Fantastic. Steve McT with the 10 spot says, congrats on the new baby. Here's to 2025 being sick as fuck. How about a tasty F4 rumor to bring in the new year, Papa Josh? I'm too pumped. Wishing all positive vibes. Fantastic Four rumor. Let me think about it. Well, I think one of the interesting rumors about that movie came from Alex Perez on one of the Discord Q&As, where Alex said recently that he wouldn't be surprised if some of the other people that were up for the role of Reed Richards, like if you remember, there were so many people out for that role. And at one point, My Time to Shine literally said, Adam Driver is our Reed Richards. Now, she's wrong. I don't want to say often, because she's not wrong often, but it's like 70-30, right? So it could just be one she got wrong. But she's also like really accurate. So that one surprised me. And it was interesting to hear Alex say that he thought Adam Driver specifically could be in the film as another variant of Reed Richards. So in the comics, the whole Jonathan Hickman Fantastic Four story is so interesting because Reed wants to solve everything. And it's the whole story starts off with like a conversation with him and Sue about him being distant. Then we cut back to like 4 days earlier, and he has discovered a multiversal group of Reed Richards that are literally trying to solve all of the multiverse and the universe's problems together. So imagine all these super smart Reed Richards guys, they get together and they start solving all the problems. And Reed initially thinks this is the right thing for him to do and the right way for him to use his time. And he's kind of like separated from his family or whatever. Now it comes full circle and he leaves and he decides that no, he actually wants to be with his family, etc., etc. He then starts the Future Foundation, which is a group of young people that create a think tank to try to solve all of these problems. And the idea is, instead of using older people, instead of using a bunch of Reed Richards, it's better to use youthful, very brilliant people because they're going to be more optimistic and more invested in actually solving these problems. We know that the Future Foundation is a part of what they're doing in the movie. And so these rumors of the Council of Reed, that's interesting because maybe we'll see the formation of the council, or maybe the council is like a lingering secret that this Reed is keeping from everyone, and it's sort of juxtaposed with what the Future Foundation is. So yeah, I think that rumor is really interesting. It could make a lot of the casting rumors make more sense. And we actually did speculate about this at the time when we were like, dude, all these people are out for Reed Richards. Maybe they are Reed Richards just for the Council of Reeds. So yeah, we'll see what you guys think about that. We'll see if it shows up, but that is a cool rumor. Joshua says, wish I had a kid, but I'm single as fuck, so no kids. Yeah, man. I mean, that's kind of the trick of it, right? That's kind of the trick of it. I think you need it depends on what you want, but if you want to be with somebody, you want a family or whatever, you got to work on yourself first, because if you don't, you're going to bring all your baggage into the relationship. And I think self-love is really important. No Diddy. The Exodus says, Battinson meets Killer Croc, buys gym membership. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So is Athena's middle name the Odyssey? No. Her middle name is May. Athena May Lucas. Oh, it's just such a lovely name, man. Just such a lovely name. Ibsy. So excited for 2025 movies and games. I feel F4 about to become the movie of the year. Not excited for Superman at all. Might not even watch it. By the way, Josh, what's your take on Goku versus Superman? For me, Goku wins. The Goku versus Superman debate is awesome, but yeah, I would probably give it to Goku. So you have two characters. One is always breaking their limits. One is never really testing their limits. So the thing that's wild about Clark, and it depends on what version you're doing, right? But Clark lives in a world of cardboard. He's so much stronger than everybody that he actually has to be really reserved all the time. Goku's not like that at all. Goku's always testing his limits, finding the most powerful opponents, etc. So I think in that sense, like, especially if they were actually going for blood, I give the edge to Goku. But I don't know, man. Superman's crazy strong. We don't even know how strong he could actually end up being, so it's a tough one. Space Trick Serial says, man, I hope there is a KK social media crash out. LOL, denying Feige to preserve her horrible legacy as the woman who ruined Star Wars. Yeah, it's wild. Wild that happened, right? Jay Morris says with the 10 spot, just got here, gonna have to catch up on the rewatch. Just wanted to pop in and say congrats to you and Elisa, and hope the baby grows up healthy and happy. Thanks for keeping us all entertained. Nerd Ventures for life. Happy New Year. Appreciate you, brother. We're doing great over here, man. I mean, I want to go in a little bit and check on everybody, make sure everyone's chilling. But yeah, appreciate it. Let me just go through here and see if I missed any chats. I don't think so, though. I don't think so. I think we're good here. Yeah, I think we got it all. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Hey, I'll hang out in the chat for a little bit here, guys, and then I'm going to get on out of here. Anything else going on? Any other questions? Superman can rewind time. There are versions of Superman that have had that ability, yeah. Just getting to the stream, TLDR. DCU Batman in a cartoon that nobody watched. Is he going to look like that? People aren't sure. Getting Daredevil trailer soon, Fantastic Four trailer soon. The leader's really important. The Sony CEO that said all that wild shit, he got fired or stepped down. And Andrew Garfield keeps on lying about Spider-Man 4. There you go. Hey, Josh, should we be worried about X-Men 97, especially after What If? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. The way I look at it is like, either way, I'm grateful for the first season. You know what I mean? Hey, appreciate you, Cantina Talks. Either way, I appreciate the first season so much, and it was so important. We needed that at that time. So even if the show falls off, I mean, we'll all just clown on it and be sad, but I'm still grateful for the first season. But we'll see. If I were Marvel, I'd be out there trying to find the most talented writer I possibly could, because if X-Men 97 is a step down, Bo DeMeo is going to post about it every week, and I don't blame him. You know what I mean? So if I were them, just in the sense of like trying to protect the brand, go find the most talented X-Men writer that you possibly could. Do you know what I mean? Because I think it's a super bad look if that season is a downgrade. Yeah. Just finished season 2 of Squid Game. Pretty dang good. Anyone see it? I loved it, man. You missed 2 of my super chats? Okay, let me check. Let's see here. Reacher Guy's perfect for Batman. Hell yeah. Having to send 5 at a time because this app is a piece of shit. Really? Okay. Well, I appreciate the support, man. Thank you. Sorry, the app's going crazy. Are those the 2 I missed? I think so. I think so. So, how's the new year for you guys, man? We're going to get out of here soon. Didn't Bo write season 2, though? They only did small tweaks. So, unfortunately, I'm not 100% clear on the timetable, but there was a moment where Bo was very vocal about some things. He then found out, I think through his agent or something, that they removed his executive producer credit for season 2, which indicates that, like, they're changing it a lot. In order to do that, I think I don't know how it all logistically works, but essentially, like, they made some changes just to hurt him, is the way I understand it. So that kind of sucks. But also, like, look, Bo is out here kind of talking about a lot of shit too. You know what I mean? So I have empathy for everybody involved. Ultimately, man, I'm just a goddamn X-Men fan, you know? I just want the shit to pop off. So we'll see. Can we rewatch X-Men 96 on Twitch? Yeah, so I'm going to spend some time this weekend thinking about how we want to approach member streams, deep dives, all these different things. I'll have some answers for you guys on Monday. Why are orcs in Warhammer? Well, orcs are Warhammer originally. There's 2 versions of Warhammer. So, like, technically in the late 70s, there's a version of Warhammer called Rogue Trader, which was more fantasy. And there was a Warhammer Fantasy 2. Warhammer technically starts in 1987 when they take it into a far sci-fi place. But a lot of the fantasy elements, which come from Dungeons and Dragons and some of that stuff, it's still present in early Warhammer. They just take it to a deep sci-fi level. Does that make sense? Vandolph the Black says 1-2-25. I got older because I'm a nerd Venger. No one knows how old I really am. Much love to you, the family, and Capricorns worldwide. Bring Chris Claremont on to consult for the X-Men. Yeah, Chris, obviously very talented. Obviously knows those characters. I don't know if you know this, Vandolph. And by the way, happy birthday to you, brother. I appreciate the support. I appreciate your ability to disagree with me and yet be civil about it and kind of see, you know, each other's sides and everything. So I think we have a very healthy relationship. But I will bring this up, and I'm curious if you know this. Chris Claremont has gotten in a little bit of hot water over the past 5 to 6 years for being what some people call super based. For instance, he hates what they did to Captain Marvel, which you can't really blame him. He was very involved in Carol and Rogue and like what happened to that character and what she was. He's very critical of that. He's been very critical of like, I don't know if he's outright said like the woke stuff that Marvel is doing, but he has been very critical of a lot of stuff that same crowd does not like. Which is interesting because, well, that just kind of shows you how some of these goalposts change. Because I think Chris would have been thought as very liberal at a time when he was making some of these things. So it's kind of interesting how like the goalpost just changes, and then we label according to, you know. I think you get what I'm saying. CO says, is it possible that Battinson could be a test start to the new universe? And how would a Superman look introduced into that universe? I think the Battinson films were designed as their own universe. And I do think Reeves had his own ideas of how to bring in the DC heroes, which is probably where some of the friction comes from between like bringing the two universes together. So we'll see. We will see how that all goes. You know, not really sure. Any other thoughts, questions, comments? 40K is the subtitle of the Warhammer Josh likes. Yes. Yes, I prefer Warhammer 40K. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guy from What If got the job, so that's why I'm concerned. Yeah, for sure. Hard to say what's going on there in What If. I mean, What If feels like, it feels like a Phase 4 idea that just never got there. Except Orcs, Lore, and Warhammer 40K, do they fight the God King? They do fight against the Imperium, but they actually have an incredible amount of respect for the Emperor himself. They don't really respect humanity because to orcs in Warhammer, it's all about battle. Like, what are you doing all this other stuff? You should just be battling everybody. But they also view the Emperor as the most powerful being in the universe. So they like him because they respect the strength. He's like an ultimate warlord. Kind of like Jagatai a little bit. But the orcs don't like humans because humans do other things than fight. Isn't that crazy? Josh, I heard there used to be 5 Chaos Gods, but did they retcon it? Also, I love the orcs. I don't think there are 5 Chaos Gods, although there were a lot. So, like, what's interesting about the gods in Warhammer is they are... How do I say this? So they derive their power from how much emotional imprinting the mortal beings of the regular universe have in the warp. So like technically everybody that worships Zeus, like at a time when humanity like worshipped Zeus, there was a literal Zeus in the warp that was gaining power from the belief, if that makes sense. But often like what you'll see with the 4 Chaos Gods that we currently have, and Slanesh, the 4th one, was actually created during the fall of the elves, the space elves, the Eldari or the Eldar. So there was like, oh man, you're going to send me on a whole rabbit hole on this. But the easy way to answer your question is there could be a 5th Chaos God. That could be happening right now. I think Vashtor wants to become a new Chaos God. And technically, any species that has emotion or that feels emotion is imprinting on the warp and creating the possibility of a being. Does that make sense? Yeah, kind of like American Gods, which is one of my favorite novels. Incredible Neil Gaiman book. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to get on out of here, man. This was a nice stream for me. It was nice to come in here, kind of work the muscles, because take a couple of days off and you forget how to stream. You know what I mean? So it's good to get back in here. We'll be back at it on Monday in a little bit more of a serious way. And so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to next week. But I appreciate getting in here. I appreciate the love, the support, the congratulations. Thank you all so much, man. 2025, baby. We got a lot of nerd vengeance to do. Doug A. Ditch says, do you think Feige has seen Superman? That's an interesting question. I'd love for him to come out and be like, I saw it and it's trash. Fantastic Four, the end of July. That's what I want to see. But, yeah, I don't know. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Much love. As I always say, I hope you, that's right, you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Sasha says, I just got here. What's the Odyssey? Don't worry about it. It's overrated. Overrated. Kind of like Cool Bear imprinting in our Chaos Realm? Exactly like that. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Leave. Oh, man. Wild week. Another blizzard outside. It's been chill, man. I can't really complain. Dream job, incredible community, beautiful family, everybody strong and safe. A lot of stuff to do, man. A lot of stuff to do this year. And I'm excited to get to it. I really enjoy what I do, building this thing, and I appreciate you guys. So thank you. Delta Dan, thanks for a gifted membership. And have you noticed? Hey, there she is. There's Mama Bear right there. Have you guys noticed all the Warhammer love? Everybody's starting to get interested. The time is now for Warhammer. Remember to open up your third eye and wash out your stinky, stinky butthole. And thank you, Rassi.